Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, here we are back again. Me versus the Shambler in the gallery. So what we're trying to do is find the right knife and get this over with. But I keep getting my ass handed to me. So let's try to fix this dilemma. Alright. Alright, I remember looking at what kind of knife I need. I remember seeing it in one of the books. So we're gonna skip through this. I've seen it.
What the hell was that? Down. This dagger looks different.
Ah! Alright, so we know where the knife is.
What the hell was that?
Alright, he's over there.
This dagger looks different.
Okay. Got it.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
I was
she doesn't know.
attacked by a creature. Pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Consider yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
But there's no damage to the painting. The key. Whew. That was a doozy.
Where's the bookseller?
Excuse me. Ooh, I must have a crap load of points. Ugh, 2. Now we've got 100 right here.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century. An old diary.
Edward Pierce.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Wait, let me check my insanity. How is that stable?
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
Something went down here. Like, everyone is using that oil.
What happened here?
Let's find out.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
There was a struggle.
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
Right here.
No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene?
Dead. Okay.
What killed all these animals? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins?
That symbol, he can't go near it.
Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe. A strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
Yeah, you took it.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
They're all having trouble sleeping.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet? Arkham editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions? Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham Editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seems particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Alright, so the Arkham books. Alright, so we gotta look at the clues. Lovecraft. Cool. They're on the cylinders. Order? Don't tell me. Hold up. Okay.
The Queen has little protection.
That would matter if I knew anything about chess.
The Queen has little protection. The Chalice of Knowledge.
Let's try this again.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend,
Some of the chessboard.
I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Nine.
The Queen has little protection. The Chalice of Knowledge.
Nine.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
9.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
It's 3.
What did Drake say about this collect? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
They said the bookshelves would check mythology. Damn, what am I easily missing?
The Queen has little protection.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular. So these are the volumes that Drake was. What did Drake say about this collection?
Can't seem to figure this out.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
Yeah.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
Ugh. No, I'm good. The hell am I missing? Okay, so they said it was in a specific order, the way I listened to it.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Three.
The Queen has little protection.
It's 3 or 4.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection?
This was the book he was reading, the main one.
Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
Alright, it's
Drake
this
talked
book.
about a particular volume.
Okay, so it's that book.
chalice of knowledge.
Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay, the clue is here and here. He mentions chessboard. He mentions gauntlet.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
All right. So number 2 combination still standing. 4. So number 2 is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So all right. So number 2 is 4. He said still standing. There's 4 of us still standing here. The white ones. Alright. So now we got...
And these red rocks, like precious stones,
red.
lie fixed, set in divine gold.
The chalice of knowledge.
Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry.
So number 1 is 5.
I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Alright, so number 1 is 5. And I believe the last one is 9. Because of the book. No? 5, 4, 9. Okay. So let's try the third one now.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Still standing. So the pieces here are still standing. 4, 5, 6. 6. Maybe the pieces that were standing. This is a... There's 6 pieces that were standing. From the game board, only 4 of them count because those are the ones that are alive. Cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3. Alright.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secret.
Alright, so cylinder 1.
The chalice of knowledge.
He said these redstones. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So number 1 is 5. Okay, we got that down. Number 2.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Alright.
The Queen has little protection.
Okay. Should be 3 or no, it's 4. It's 4 pieces here. But in total, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. So it's 4 or 7. Or do we even count the queen? I did that wrong. Cylinder 2 is 4 or 7. The last one.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seems particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
9. Okay. 9. Okay, so that one stays. Alright, so 5, 4, 9. Chessboard had gauntlets. Yeah, 5, 4, 9. So we gotta figure this out. 5, 4, 9. Oh my gosh. Alright, gotta take a break. This is a little stressful. back. It's just the bathroom. Okay. Alright, so what we already know is the last number here is 9. This is the book number. We know the first number was 5 because of the gems. Because it clearly states that. Now the only problem is this one. This is the chessboard. That's the second one. So
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers.
those of us who are
I
still
see
in
our
protect
number
the queen.
dwindling, and my will
Wait,
strengthens as
hold
my
on.
apprehension grows.
Okay.
We shall refuse to be
Shut
the
up.
playthings of destiny.
The queen is right there. Those of us who are still... It's fucking 3. Like I said, 3. Figured as much. No. It was 3. I was right. You don't count the queen. This is Necronomicon. Big ass book.
This man's condition is deteriorating.
Back at the
What says
hospital.
Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
Show me his file.
That...
It's impossible.
that's not possible.
Forget.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. After inhaling chemicals.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down, his skin losing its color, his body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him.
It's me and my jammies.
Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin.
He
Tender
needs
at the touch,
alcohol.
slightly sticky. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
His limbs? His body temperature? I don't know what experiments you've undertaken, but this is going too far.
Oh, I sense some excitement beneath your indignation. Could it be you wish to join me in my scientific endeavors?
You are a brilliant physician, Dr. Fuller, but this man has the attributes of some kind of animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder, and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Don't you get involved in this. You've done enough already.
But doctor, this man is dying.
There's nothing we can do about it. He's in the hands of Dr. Fuller. Do you wish to end up like Elizabeth? With a diploma from Nightingale and the chores of a cleaning lady?
No. You're right.
Let me do my own investigation. It's time I found those missing files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
Alright, so this is what we know so far.
Chronic insomnia. Like half the island.
Alright, so I'm playing as her now.
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
Let's take a break right here.